It was the morning of the spring festival, and the Fairy Meadows National Park shimmered under a sky painted with dawn's golden hues. Petalina, Bramble, and Pari had spent several joyful weeks exploring the wonders of the meadows, floating over rainbow glass lakes, playing hide-and-seek among talking tulips, and sleeping in the canopy of whispering willow trees. The park was a haven of magic, but adventure still called. One breezy morning, as the trio sat by a crystal-clear brook, sipping honeysuckle tea, a tiny dragonfly zipped toward them, frantically darting in zigzags. "Something's wrong," Bramble said, catching the creature gently. The dragonfly whispered something in his ear. "A grove has gone missing," Bramble translated, frowning. "A what?" Pari blinked. "The Dragonfly Patrol guards all magical zones in Fairy Meadows. They've reported that the Moonpetal Grove has vanished entire trees, flowers, even creatures that lived there. Just gone." "That sounds impossible," Petalina whispered. "Or deeply magical," Pari said. "We must investigate." The three friends packed quickly. Pari carried her crystal compass, Bramble his toolkit and map, and Petalina filled her satchel with healing herbs and snacks. With wings glimmering in the morning light, they soared through the skies, following the patrol's directions. Hours passed as the lush landscape gave way to strange sights. Flowers closed even during daylight, shadows that didn't match their sources, and a hush that blanketed the air. They finally reached a cliff overlooking what should have been Moonpetal Grove. It was empty, just open meadow where ancient glowing trees once stood. Pari pulled out her compass. "It's spinning wildly. Something's cloaking the grove." Bramble knelt and touched the grass. "Illusion magic. Strong, old, maybe even forbidden. Let's break it," Petalina said with determination. The three held hands and began a harmony chant, their wings vibrating in sync as they focused on truth, light, and unity. As their song rose, the illusion shimmered and cracked like glass. With a burst of light, Moonpetal Grove reappeared, bent and faded, but real. The grove looked drained. Trees were wilting, the air was thin, and faint whispers echoed among the vines. "Something drained the magic here," Pari murmured. She knelt by a sickly vine and closed her eyes. "There's fear and cold magic, not from this realm." Just then, a rustle came from the roots of a glowing elm. Out stumbled a tiny creature, no larger than a pine cone with bark-like skin and glowing eyes. "Who are you?" Bramble asked. "Name's Glinx. I'm a root warden," he said. "I tried to protect the grove, but a shadow fairy came in the night. She brought a mirror of shadows that sucked away the light and trapped the grove in a false veil." "Why would anyone do that?" Petalina gasped. "She wants to build a kingdom of forgotten things. She feeds on what others abandon." This grove was quiet. She thought no one would care. "She thought wrong," Pari said, standing up with fire in her eyes. "We're going to fix this." Glinx led them deep into the grove, where the magic had pooled into a fractured mirror, swirling with darkness. It pulsed with every step they took. "We need to break it," Bramble said, inspecting it. "But it's laced with curse runes. We can't do it head on." "Then we out, magic it," Petalina grinned. She handed Pari a blossom of golden pollen from her pouch. "This can purify illusion." Pari flew high above the mirror and sprinkled the pollen in a spiral. Bramble threw enchanted pebbles that thudded into the ground, creating protective wards. Petalina sang a garden song, a lullaby of blooming and light. The mirror screamed. A shadowy figure tried to rise from it, but the combined magic of the trio overwhelmed it. The dark energy shattered, and with a final burst of light, the mirror cracked and dissolved. The grove breathed again. Trees lifted their branches. Flowers opened in full bloom. Even the air began to shimmer with life. Glinx cried joyfully, "You've done it! The grove lives again!" As the sun set, the entire Fairy Meadows shimmered in response. Creatures of light and magic gathered at Moonpetal Grove to celebrate its rebirth. Lantern moths floated through the air, playing soft music with their wings. Pari danced with joy, her silver wings glowing. Petalina wove crowns from restored moon petals, placing one on each of their heads. Bramble smiled, content and proud. As they watched the stars rise, Petalina whispered, "This is why we adventure, not just for fun, but for moments like this, to heal, to protect, and to stand together." Pari nodded. The shadow thought this grove was forgotten, but magic remembers, and we made sure of that. Bramble raised his cup of sparkling nectar. To friends, to light, and to the next great adventure. They clinked their cups together as laughter rang through the night, and the tale of the 3 fairies who saved Moonpetal Grove became another cherished legend, whispered on the wings of Larkvale.